Space MVC or microvision chain is a project that I have invested heavily in, and it is one of my favorite new projects in the crypto world. I put Space in second place behind QUBIC as the project that I'm most excited about right now. So what is Space? Space is a layer 1 blockchain project. Layer 1 means that this is a blockchain that other projects and apps can be built on top of. At first look, some people might think that this is a layer 2 blockchain project because it appears that it's built on top of the Bitcoin blockchain, but it's actually just a side chain to Bitcoin is my best understanding of this. And Space actually interacts with the Bitcoin blockchain as a virtual machine. So what is the use case of Space and why am I so bullish on this crypto? So to understand Space, we first need to understand why Bitcoin is so great and then the limitations of the Bitcoin blockchain. So Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency blockchain and the most popular one that's out there. As you can see here, it says it's a virtual currency designed to act as money and a form of payment outside of the control of any one person, group or entity, thus removing the need for third-party involvement in financial transactions. And it also then rewards to blockchain miners for verifying transactions and can be purchased on several exchanges. But basically, Bitcoin removes the need for banks. If it does what it's really meant to do, and it decentralizes control over money. And that's why it's so revolutionary and so admired by so many people. Then Bitcoin is also deflationary and it requires no intermediary party like a bank to approve its transactions. So it's just the first trustless currency that can be used for transactions. And then Bitcoin, through its halving process as well, is designed to increase in value over time. At the time of making this video, Bitcoin is the 13th highest currency in the world in terms of value by market cap. And you'd probably be foolish to believe that this couldn't go and become the number one currency by market cap over time, because the growth of this currency has been incredible and it keeps hitting milestones that people never thought it would hit. I'm not saying that it definitely will, but things are definitely trending in that direction, with Bitcoin ETFs being approved, and it will probably become a part of pensions and other investment funds in the future. So there's so much potential for Bitcoin in the future. Meaning you actually could, if Bitcoin became the number one currency in the world, it could still 300x from here, which is just incredible to think of. And then that would obviously drag the whole crypto market up with it. But anyway, that's the good news. But there are so many huge limitations to Bitcoin because it was the first blockchain and first cryptocurrency out there. It's quite old right now. So Bitcoin can only run about 7 transactions per second. When you think a lot of these new blockchains are running anywhere from 1,000 to 100,000 transactions per second. Then the cost of transacting with Bitcoin is so expensive, it's hardly worthwhile. I mean, a Bitcoin transaction can cost anywhere from $1 to $30 and even more at times. So that means that until now, a coffee shop just couldn't sell coffee in exchange for Bitcoin because it is too expensive to complete the transaction, so it wasn't worthwhile. And now that many newer blockchains do exactly what Bitcoin does, but way better, Bitcoin is kind of becoming a bit irrelevant other than the fact that it's the poster boy for a cryptocurrency. So the question then is, how does Bitcoin become relevant again and competitive again? And this is where we enter in the microvision chain and the Space cryptocurrency. So Space is the first virtual machine that is designed to interact with the Bitcoin blockchain. And Space is building a whole ecosystem on top of Bitcoin. So it's super high performance and it's got super low fees. So it allows for around 10,000 Bitcoin transactions per second. And those transactions are very inexpensive. It also allows for smart contracts to be run on top of Bitcoin using a UTXO model. And then, very importantly, it allows for decentralized apps to be built on top of the Bitcoin network as well. And in fact, what's really cool is that through what is called proof of build, Space will actually pay creators to build their decentralized apps on top of their blockchain. So through decentralized apps and the low cost of Space transactions, Space is going to bring Bitcoin to the mainstream, meaning that soon it will actually make financial sense for your local coffee shop to accept Bitcoin transactions when selling coffee. And in fact, they'd be foolish not to accept Bitcoin because the fees that come with something like Space are so low that it'll actually be way cheaper for them to accept transactions this way than through their current point-of-sale systems. And your local coffee shop will even get paid to build their own app if they want on this blockchain. So it's even incentivizing them to build their own app for their customers. So thankfully then there's a really strong team working behind Microvision and Space, and they're a fully doxed team of about 30 developers led by Jason Kwon. And then from a tokenomics perspective, there's a max total supply of 21 million Space, and it follows the same halving process as Bitcoin. And there are already loads of great apps built on top of the Microvision chain. So we've got ones called Show3, Metaname, MVC Swap, which is a DEX, and then Newverse and Space Dollar. So as we can see, Show3 is the first NFT universal Web3 social application which has been built. And Metaname is a Web3 naming platform that gives you real social value. Then the MVC Swap is obviously a DEX. And then we've got a stablecoin, Space Dollar, which has been built on top of the Microvision chain. So at the moment, the best exchange to buy Space on is the MEXC exchange, which is a really good exchange. So it's a safe place to buy it. And then once you buy your Space on MEXC, you can go back to the Show platform. You can connect your wallet there or set up a new wallet, transfer your Space onto that, and then you can begin staking your Space as well for rewards and earn passive income. So then when we look at the potential and marketability for Space, so right now we can see it's got a price of $27, a really low market cap of 72 million. Like, considering that this is already a fully launched project with a full team of developers working, that's an incredibly low market cap, I think. And there's also loads of external developers working on this blockchain already, and they're already building centralized apps. So there should be a huge demand for Space coming from here. And then the fact that Space unlocks Bitcoin and is going to bring that whole community into the Space community, I mean, it's real reasons to be very bullish and makes this really, really marketable. There are some competing projects out right now, like the Satoshi virtual machine, but none competing projects are actually launched or work at the moment. So for all those reasons, the sky is the limit for Space, and it appears to be very undervalued at an 80 million market cap right now. And for such a developed project with such high potential, the risk reward is as good as you're going to get in the crypto space at the moment. I could easily see this project reaching $1 billion market cap, which would be around 13 or 14x from here. But many people, much smarter than me, think this could go a lot higher, and it definitely is possible. A 10 billion or 20 billion or even much higher market cap is definitely possible for something like Space, which would be 130x or 260x higher. And this really is one of those projects that the sky's the limit for. But even if it doesn't perform as well as we think it might, you would still expect it to provide at least a decent return. But of course, this is crypto, so who knows? This thing could go to zero overnight as well. But it's just the fact that it's linked to Bitcoin. I think it should be very successful. So please, though, if you want to try this project out, only invest what you can afford to do and do your own research as well. Click the video on screen now to learn about the project I'm most excited about this year, and I'll see you on the outside.